Welcome back to the 2026 MPJ New Rock Album Review Show! Episode 7 of January 2026. We're back! We're back on our journey. And today, with my wonderful panel of Simon, to Trish, and to Pete, and to William. Welcome back, gang. Set it off! Set it off! Put forward by none other than William. Dun dun dun. So we got crazy here, William. William, you put this band forward as a nomination, which we gratefully accepted.
I did.
So let's start with you. Why? What
So
makes them so good?
I've been a fan of Set It Off for quite a while. I got introduced to them like 15 odd years ago, or so, like with their track "Wolf in Sheep's Clothing." And then I started listening to them a lot more and a lot more. One of their albums, Cinematics, is one of my all-time favourite albums. It's really cool. And then I hadn't heard much of them for a while, and I was scrolling on social media and I heard a clip of the intro to Pathological, and I was like, oh god, I like this a lot. So I started listening to it, and man, this is fantastic. Their re-recording of Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, my god, it's incredible. It's almost like he was hurt in the past, and it's the feelings of that are still coming on. It's shown how he's grown as a person, changed as a person by having this re-recording being so different to how it was before. God, there's not a single track in here I don't like. Every single one is fantastic. The lyricism, really cool. The vocals, fantastic. The music, the background, man, it's so good. I can't get over just that intro to Pathological alone. It's really cool. A little like quick talk rappy almost way of doing it, with the not really music in the background, but just like that ominous noise that kicks in. God, this is so cool. They're such a good band, and I'm very glad they're releasing more music and they've gone more of this heavier, darker style of music. Pretty rad. Decent.
Heavier, darker. What do you mean? Well, how would you describe them overall, though? In terms of
they don't really have one, because like all their albums have been very different. Like Cinematics is very much just like a emo rocky track, and this is obviously a lot more heavier of its lyrics, and the backing music is more metally with its instrumentals. But it's still what they want to do. Neat. They don't like labels.
Like labels. Pete, did this set it off for you?
I've got a good description of this band for you. I'm curious what you guys think. So, when I started listening to this, first off, by the way, this is a self-titled album, which led me to believe it was their first album. It's actually their sixth. Damn, that's a shit word to say. Sixth studio album. And I don't know why this is inexplicable, but for some reason I find it really cool that a band like produces 5 albums and then it's like, oh, let's do a self-titled album. Well, normally it's the first one, but yeah, that's just silly me. So when I started listening to this album, I quite enjoyed it. Like I really, the songs are well structured in a very classic, not a crazy way. So it's got good harmonies, melodies, everything, but the guy's voice, like first when Pathological started, it opened. I was like, "Ooh, I'm not sure if I'm going to enjoy this." But then started, sorry, Will. I just saw the change in expression. It's like what? But then I did start enjoying it more and more as the album progressed. But for the first few songs, there was something itching my brain. Like I was like, this guy's voice reminds me of something. This entire band reminds me of something. And I just couldn't put my finger on it. And then it suddenly hit me, like the guys basically, if Adam Levine had a goth streak, this entire band is just an edgy Maroon 5. That's what was itching my brain. And after I'd solved that for myself, like, all right, Pete, that's just what it is. They're edgy Maroon 5. Then I really started enjoying the album, and that was around the tracks "What's in It for Me" and "Evil People." Those two were in the middle of the album. Thought they were really catchy, hooky songs. And that is just the entire spiel of this band. They make a lot of catchy, well-structured music with a gothy Adam Levine singer. So it definitely also, because when I started listening to it, I always Like before the first track is even over, I've already got a score in my head. And lots of times I stick to that score. Oftentimes it also changes. This one kept creeping up as the album progressed. So they ended up with a pretty decent score, but more on that later.
Simon, have you heard of them before?
Yeah. They have creeped up now and again in different lists, but I've never actually sat and like dedicated time to them. So I recognised the name, but I couldn't have ever told you about a song to them. But just now, I did look at them because I was curious as well. Because doing a self-titled for a sixth album, it's because they went independent after their fifth album. So this is why this is like a reset of the band. Especially there's a little bit of controversy with someone that had collabed with them. So they've got like they've had a reset, which is why it's self-titled, and why Wolf in Sheep's Clothing got re-recorded. So I was really surprised by this. This is really cool. I kind of disagree with a lot of what everyone else has said. For me, like Pete, you were saying like this reminded you of something so much. I was going through the same thing, and to me, it sounds like someone blended like Panic at the Disco with Ice Nine Kills lyrics and style, like shook it all up, and like sprinkled a bit of old school, like old school Good Charlotte Green Day on top, just as a little extra. So yeah, that's what it reminded me a lot of, especially in the lyricisms in a lot of the tracks. That sort of that dark, almost like the sort of dark macabre sort of stuff, but like just in the lyrical styles. And again, his vocals and the styling of the songs, again, it's not quite Panic at the Disco, but it gave me that similar sort of vibe, but a much more like metal version. So yeah, like absolutely fantastic. I was really surprised by how much fun this album was. Pathological, as Will said, like absolute favourite, and to me it almost upset the album because it was such a fantastic banger of an opening track that the rest of the album didn't quite live up to that. Which is why you're seeing my score. But yeah, Pathological for me, like instant hit straight onto my personal playlist. Fantastic track. So yeah, really cool, really good.
Trish, what do you think of that, Trish? Did this also set it off for you or not?
Yeah, I mean, the title of both the band and this self-titled album says it all, and it does exactly that. It sets off. This album blends, for me, influences of Fall Out Boy and Panic at the Disco with a bit of Swedish rock band Reach, but all pulled together with sort of grittier industrial and new metal elements. The result being a punchy, modern sound with 12 tracks, 37-minute runtime. There's hardly a weak moment. Standout tracks for me include Fake Ass Friends and Evil People, though choosing a favourite is tough when this album just flowed really well from start to finish for me. It's catchy, energetic and easy to listen to, an album that can naturally end up on repeat for me.
Okay, several years ago when I first started this journey, and I listened to the top 100 albums, I forced myself to listen to every single album apart from compilation and Christmas albums on the top 100. So it all started. And one of those was Blurry Face by 21 Pilots. Okay, and 21 Pilots had a wonderful infusion of rap and pop and some rock. And then they went away, and then they went more pop than rap. And in the latest album, they came back, and it was slightly more heavier. This is a direction I wish 21 Pilots had gone into, really. Much more heavier, much more that infusion of rap and rock, and I absolutely loved this album. I absolutely adore it. Pathological, and I would highly recommend you guys to start thinking about album, Song of the Year. Keep a tab as you're going through the year, because bizarrely, organically, it was our Song of the Year. Was one of the most viewed organic views, with nearly 1,000 views, which was amazing in terms of our Song of the Year. And I think Pathological has immediately got onto that short list for me. I loved it. I thought it was absolutely a blinder of a track. And when I like to go off beaten track, and it was a very eclectic album from that perspective as well. Absolutely adored it. It's a terrific album. There were some moments where I've gone, maybe. But overall, Thank you, William, for putting these forward. I wish 21 Pilots had gone far more down this heavier, grungy kind of rap rock kind of path, which I think is a bit more to my tastes as well. So, cracking album. Set me off. Boom. Thank you very much. Right, let's find out then. Let's go and find our scores. William.
5.
5! He's full of 5s this month, everybody. Full of them. Oh, by the way, the other one I got my Wolf in Sheep Clothing also got onto my playlist as well. I thought that was also absolutely cracking. Pete.
Like Will, of course, I went with a 5. There's just a 3 and a point in front of it.
See, this fallacy you guys are joining the hip is slowly just melting away. Simon?
I gave this a big old 4.5.
4.5! Woohoo! Trish?
I give it a 4.
Dom didn't really particularly like it, but he was a 3.5, which is pretty solid. I give it a 4.5. Wowzers. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to say a 4.3, top 100, top 75 albums of all time, 63rd, whoopee. Second most favourite album of the month with a 4.3 overall. Set It Off. Whoa, up with a blast, and it's automatically on our shortlist for Album of the Year, along with the other ones that have got in, Mice and Men, and 2 others which are yet to be announced. Anyway, so congratulations. Let's finish off with our 2-word review, shall we? William.
Utterly fantastic.
Fantastic. I wasn't. Were you talking about Pete or the album there, mate?
2 things can be true at once.
Okay, Pete.
I'll give you 2 words and a digit. Edgy Maroon 5.
Edgy Maroon 5. Simon.
Pathological banger.
Pathological banger. Well, the lovely Trish.
Musical delight.
Musical delight. Rapping rock. There we go. Okay, what do you think? Give us a 2-word review. Leave your comments below. Thank you very much for tuning in. Goodbye and keep safe. Bye.
Cheers.